together like being in your car and empty bags of fast food, older seats, and a couple hoodies. And something that's just, I don't know what that is on your seat. The Woody Show.
This is closed, and that's fine. That was a dead fucking stop, dude.
Insensitivity training for a politically correct world. It is Wednesday morning. We are the Woody Show. March 20th, 2024. Woody, Ravy, Greg, Menace. What up? Seabass. We got Sammy. Morning. Trending news headlines coming up for you this hour. We got the phones open 877-44-Woody. You can hit us up with a text over to 22987. This is good to know. Data from the IRS shows that for people earning between $50,000 and $200,000 a year, the odds that you get audited are 0.2%.
Jeez. Okay.
So mega low.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, weren't they trying to hire a bunch of new employees just so they can audit more people?
I can't remember if it was 80,000 or it was 800,000.
No, it was 30,000.
30,000?
Yeah.
So 3 million. Yeah.
Right. So 3 million.
I just think if you are earning above that, you're probably like going through everything, try to get every little deduction you can.
And having professionals do it.
But yeah, so that's why you probably have higher potential of getting audited.
I got a great guy. Found him through that whole Dave Ramsey network. because he's got these endorsed local providers or whatever. So if you go to the Dave Ramsey website, you can find one near you. This guy's been great. Best guy I've ever had for the tax purposes.
Good.
And charges me a fraction of the guy that I used for years.
Yeah.
He ripped me off.
Yeah, that guy was...
Right?
He was good for a while.
But he was great. I mean, look, he ended up doing a lot for me, but he, you know, he was way overcharging me. And I just figured, oh, that's what it goes for.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you didn't know any better.
Yeah, and he was the cousin of a friend of mine, you know, and he did a lot of tax returns for like all these big radio people who were making way more than I was.
Yeah.
And so like, oh, he knows the industry. He knows
Overcharging everybody.
Yeah, it's like, man. But now I got a guy, seriously, it's probably 25% of what I paid the last guy.
That is a big deal.
Yeah, and this guy's great. He's fantastic. And that's how I found him. I found him through the Dave Ramsey website.
And when you get a tax refund, the next year you get a statement that you have to pay taxes on that, correct?
I don't know what happens with that.
Because I haven't gotten my thing.
You definitely do on your state.
No.
On your state.
I never got that paperwork.
No, I don't think you do.
I get a state form. I get a state form.
I know you get a state form, but you're not paying taxes on it because that was money that was yours. And you overpaid.
Right. Yeah. But it
overpaid your
counts
taxes.
as income.
I don't think it does count as income.
I think it does.
I just thought my tax
You're getting it back. It can't be income. You already paid taxes on that income.
I wish I had, an official answer on that, or I wish I knew more about it.
Otherwise, why would you get a tax form in the mail? Because you didn't have to count it.
I think it's because it's money that the state gave you back, but it's not new money.
No, it's not new money.
You overpaid on your taxes.
But it was money that you earned last year.
Yeah, but they already taxed you on
count
it.
Everything.
Right, and then I believe you do get taxed. So if I did,
you're all wrong.
I don't know.
Anytime you've ever ignored anything from taxes,
it comes back.
back to hit you.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, just you get a jury summons, just throw it away.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 1 out of 300 million people.
Right, exactly.
Well, no.
You had that tax form, right, for your one jackpot.
Right.
And you threw that right in the garbage. They came back to find you there.
Don't come back.
Yep, they found me.
How are they going to prove that you saw it? That's what Greg says all the time.
What check?
Yeah, what ticket?
But yeah, I didn't get it this year, so
Well,
I'll just ask my tax person.
You can go on the website and get all this, because there were certain things like I get the checklist from the guy. He goes, make sure you include this, and need this kind of statement, whatever. And so I just collect all that stuff. I dropped it off at his house.
Okay.
And I had it back within 24 hours.
Oh, that's good.
And that was it. E-filed.
Nice.
Done. I mean, I had to pay a ton in federal this year.
That's why I've been putting it off.
Yeah. Well, okay, so, and the reason being, I looked into it because I was having a conversation with Sammy yesterday.
I owe a bunch of money.
And you can explain your situation in a second. And it turns out, and this is a good problem to have, that because, okay, here's the glass half full, interest rates being really high. If you had money market money, like an accountant, you had money in a money market, like you did really well because the interest rates were high. So those were paying really well. So you had to pay the taxes on that.
Sure.
So that's right. So you made money, but it wasn't like there were taxes being taken out of that. So now it's like you get a bill at the end of the year. So that's where that came from. Sammy's I cannot figure out.
Right. So I owe money on both federal and state. I claim 0.
Which is crazy.
And I'm one person. I shouldn't owe money. And what I think happened is the company has me in the wrong tax bracket. So they weren't taking out the amount of money that was supposed to be taken out all year. And now I'm getting nailed with it.
See, because I don't know that because it's not somebody in the payroll department going, oh, well, Sammy Marino, she's in this tax bracket. Because it's just earnings that go into the system. Because the amount that you get taxed is
all like computed.
It varies. The first, whatever it is, 11th, I'm making these numbers up. The first $11,000 you earn is taxed at this rate. From $11,001 to the next threshold is taxed. Just the dollars in that. It's not everything. It's just the dollars that are made in that window are taxed at this rate. And so there's not somebody down for every single person in the payroll department going, well, oh yeah, we got to up Renee Raby's tax bracket here.
Yeah, but when you get hired, you still have to put down what you're going to claim.
Those are claimed, yeah, but that's not a tax bracket.
But I checked and it is 0. Like that didn't get screwed up when I checked my stuff online. Okay. But I'm wondering if because when I first started here, I was only like 3 months of that year. So I didn't make very much money. So did I get stuck in that tax bracket somehow that didn't carry over to the new year when I worked a full year?
I don't think so.
No, it's just based on your current earnings. Like that's what you. So if you get like, it's happened before where, you get a bonus, right? Or there's some extra money in your check. You're like, man, that didn't equate to as much as I thought. Yeah, because based on that amount, you ended up paying more in that paycheck, that pay period.
Right.
But at the end of the year, it all comes out the watch. Because at the end of the year, there's a number. You're responsible for whatever the tax obligation is on that number. And so if you overpaid or whatever in that particular month or whatever, or that particular pay period, like that's the kind of stuff that's going to come out in the form of a refund at the end of the year, because you had like a couple big paychecks, and so you got taxed more on that, so that it may be more than your liability at the end of the year.
Sure.
Can't they just make it easier? I mean, it's so...
Well, it is easy. I go to a guy, I say, well,
Yeah.
I got a checklist, and I just spread it out. The problem also is, and I didn't even realize this because I haven't had to deal with any of these issues. We're working here so long, and nothing ever changes.
Yeah.
We don't have an in-house
HR department.
HR department
We don't have an
anymore.
HR. There's I didn't even know who to talk to.
Right.
Because there's no HR.
Yeah, so all those things like, oh, call the number, it automated it. That's the HR department now.
Yeah. I mean, you'll eventually get a person, but not at the start.
Yeah, and
Right.
they won't have any idea what you're talking about.
And God knows how long that takes.
But we do have some in-house accountants that can
We do?
help out a little bit. Yeah.
we don't have HR, but we have
Yeah,
Well, yeah, you
we
need
have
to
an
have
in-house
your
payroll
accountant.
person.
well, they can help out. Yeah, they look over all the money in the building.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, and they're very
I was
helpful.
gonna say, if we're not doing HR in the building, like what makes me think that we're doing payroll in the building? I would think that would be a centralized thing.
Well, again, it's like every dollar that goes through this building.
Yeah, I mean, saying that now makes sense.
Right.
What was it like when you first started? Like you were trying to get a hold of somebody. It was like a healthcare thing, and
Yeah.
that took
yeah.
forever.
That's another thing.
Forever. And there's still money that I never got back from that because I couldn't get a hold of anybody after the fact. So
Yeah.
things just happen and then you can't get a hold of anybody again. But that was health insurance where we have it so that you have to go and get a physical within the first 3 months of the year.
Oh,
Otherwise,
same.
and you're automatically getting the discount. But if you don't go and get your physical, then they start charging you more.
Right.
So that helps.
What do they call that? A biometric screening or whatever,
Yeah.
so you can get like, in other words,
Money off.
yeah, you get like a discount if you go do that,
Right.
on like what you pay out of pocket for your insurance.
Right. So
Yeah.
I was having a tough time getting a new doctor where I could get an opening and an appointment in time and the whole thing. And I finally did. I finally worked it out. And I didn't get everything in on time. I went to the doctor on time, but the paperwork processed late. And so I got charged for, a month or so as if that health insurance hadn't gone through or I hadn't had the appointment. And they told me that wasn't going to happen. It did happen. And then there was no way for me to get that money back at all.
All right.
So, yeah, it's stuff like that they just give you the runaround. You can't get a hold of anybody.
frustrating.
Then when stuff happens, you get no
Yeah.
help.
That's why I show
then
up
you're
at
out.
offices.
And and if someone's not there, like what are you gonna do? Like
Get on the plane.
walk to San Antonio. HR people are.
Yep.
Well, I had, because I wanted to see what was going on because I was getting a return, and they have to do like some verification of my address, so they have to send me a letter. And I've told you in the past we've had some issues with people stealing mail, so I just wanted to make sure they didn't send this letter already and I
Right.
missed it because it's past the window that they said they would go send it. And so I go to the office and they're like, well, first they go, we have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, oh great, am I getting scammed? But then they gave me like some crazy hotline number where the IRS picked up right away, so there was like no hold time, and
Oh, wow.
they were able to
Whoa,
like fix
that's
it
cool.
out. And then they said, oh sorry, we delayed it for everybody, so if you don't get it by this date, then call us back.
All right, good
Do
to
you
know.
have to have a code that Menace has been talking about?
No, I mean, but I'm not filing. I mean, didn't they file it for you? What do you need a code for? Like, because you're not filing it yourself.
So I know other people that had to go through this, where you do is an ID verification
But are
process.
you filing it yourself, or do you
No.
have somebody who's filing it for you?
I do, but I didn't do the ID verification last year, which apparently a lot of people did.
I don't
You haven't
remember
done
doing
that
that.
yet?
No, the only thing I get from my guy every year, they send a thing basically like in a authorization saying that they can file for you. So it's like you print it out, I forget what the form is, and you just, sign your name, and I send it back to him. That gives him the authority to then submit my return e-file.
Well, what's so annoying is they want to verify my address, and I'm like, it's a direct deposit. Like, why do we need to verify my address?
I don't know. But this is what I told Sammy yesterday, and we've seen that on text too. Yeah, Sammy, that's not how it works. You need a professional. I said it's worth it just to go to somebody who knows this stuff inside and out, and just to tell you, so you can at least correct it now and going forward.
Right.
So you know what's going on, so you don't get in this situation again next year. Somebody said, I'm in the exact same boat, Sammy. I claim zero. I've never owed. I'm 41 years old, and for the past 2 years, I owe. I'm just as confused.
Yeah, what's going on?
It changes all the time. I used to get a refund every year.
The tax laws have definitely changed.
Yeah.
Trump made all those tax cuts when he was in office, and as soon as that happened,
Everybody else's taxes went up.
I had to pay from them.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Whenever those tax cuts went into effect,
Yeah, because
I've had to pay ever since then.
Yeah, there were changes in what you can, or thresholds in what you could, write off or deduct.
But that was definitely the moment.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, I thought there was tax cuts. What the hell?
Yeah. For people making over $1 million or $2 million a year.
I kind of felt like I
was never for you.
So
it was never for the people.
I was getting a state refund. Getting a state refund.
Goddamn.
The goal is for the state to balance out what I have to pay.
I mean, the goal is to owe nobody anything, state or federal. But good luck on that. That's like math.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we also have to change our mindsets. The goal is not to owe. We already paid half our income.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
anything else, guys.
So
it's 40% tops,
win out of it.
And that's if you're making $1 million a year.
All the points.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, suck it. Look at these points.
And then before
that I never used.
No, I did. I used points here recently.
For what?
We're going on a spring break trip or whatever. My parents were going on a cruise, the whole thing. I booked a really sweet ass room.
Yeah, look at that.
Ritz-Carlton.
With your points?
Some big, awesome suite, all with points.
Yeah, Uncle Sam, suck it.
Yeah, so my wife was doing, because I was online looking where can we stay the night before the cruise leaves or whatever, and she was, why don't you use some points? I go, oh yeah.
Yeah, finally.
It's like having gift cards. You never think about it until you're already there. You go, damn it, forgot the gift cards.
My buddy does that all the time. He has the Hilton credit card, and then that's all he uses.
Yeah.
He goes to Ritz-Carlton, Bora
That's what I mean,
all kinds of crazy stuff.
I wasn't gonna book there otherwise.
Yeah,
With the points.
Every dollar he spends, he uses it on that.
Yeah.
Look at this thread count, Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
For you.
So I paid it. So I paid it with the credit card.
All the
There's all these different services that will, so I did pay a small financing fee or whatever to use the card, a process, whatever, because it's a credit card. Some people will do that. I forget what it was.
A breathing fee. Yeah.
Super low, right? Super low. So I still felt like I was winning,
Total win.
And then I waited one day, and then I paid off the card, so I get the points, and there was no interest on it, see? So rather than just sending the check directly to the bastards at the IRS, I got their points.
You're going to get naked in Ritz-Carlton sheets.
Yeah.
Stick it to
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll see.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take a picture and send it to them.
I'm nude in these sheets.
That's right. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break.
How about these coconuts?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, somebody said I can't stand the IRS right now. They can't get their ish together. I owed $1,200 last year, agreed to a payment plan of $150 a month, and they've been taking $150 a month, but not applying it to the balance owed. And they say I still owe $800.
What?
Maybe a ton of it was interest.
So much was interest in this.
I don't know, or maybe did you put it as you can prepay a quarterly estimated payment or whatever toward,
Who knows?
Exactly.
Why I've been kicking that can down the road.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe I'll do it this weekend.
Anyway, so yeah, definitely. I would suggest if you're having an issue or you find that you're going to owe a bunch, and you've been doing just something online yourself or whatever it is you're doing yourself, it might be worth it. If you've never done it before, once in your life, just see a tax professional and just see where you're at. And you never have to go back again, but just so they can look at your situation, and your situation's pretty much the same every year. Mm-hmm. It'll be worth the I'll tell you what I paid. I paid $400 and some bucks.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all. This guy is great. And I found my guy through that Dave Ramsey website.
But when you owe a ton of money, it still is a lot to have to go pay and have them go.
No, it is.
You still
It
do
is.
pay the
It is, but
you still owe.
it's worth it in the grand scheme of things for this year and going forward to know exactly what your situation is and what you can. They'll give you all the kind of stuff that you can do or should do to never be in this situation again.
Because you don't know what you might be leaving on the table.
Right.
Right. So just the one time I think it's worth it just to do it and see where you're at and get their advice on how to set yourself up even for the next year, the year after that.
And Sammy, the only time I've ever owed is the same program you're using.
Oh,
Just
really?
throw that out there.
Yeah, maybe redo it.
All right, more Woody shows next. Hang on.
Everybody likes Woody in your show.
Everybody else gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna take a permanent one. I'm gonna kill myself.
The Woody Show.
All 98.7. LA's new alternative.
I'm trying to get crazy.
The Woody shows. I can't believe we made it 10 whole years without getting fired. Fiesta! 10 years, living large. Come party with Woody, Ravy, Greg, Miss, Seabass, and the rest of the Woody Show crew.
Celebrating 10 years of insanity.
With Cypress Hill. We love you guys too. I appreciate you going all in with the Woody Show, being with us for 10 years.
Saturday, April 13th, live at the Velasco.
Tickets go on sale this Friday at 6 a.m.
But you can win your way in all this week.
The Woody Shows, I can't believe we made it 10 years without getting fired. Fiesta.
Go ahead.
Whack our Woody Pinata.
All 98.7.
LA and Orange County's home of the Woody Show for 10 years. Ride or die, 10 years. You know.
After an off-season unlike any other, come celebrate an unforgettable opening day at Dodger Stadium on March 28th as the Dodgers kick off the 2024 season versus the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's a Thursday.
Bank of America. For tickets and more information, visit Dodgers.com/opening day.
Explore hundreds of Easter deals and delights at Whole Foods Market now through April 2nd. Save on
Fucking why?
Zero artificial intelligence. Also, limited actual intelligence. You like poor grammar, this is the show for you.
More people.
Mornings on K-Rock. K-Rock.
Surprise them with Target exclusive favorite day treat.
White wedding.
Jack, have you ever received a
5-star rating. Sure, it was out of 10, but still.
This
Still,
update
5 stars,
brought to you
bitch.
by
Accountant and Daniel Ball, B-A-L-L. First of all, Ball.
Nice.
First of all, Ball.
And he's done a great job for me.
Awesome.
So, and like I told you, I have a pretty simple, I got some investments. I've got, I own a house. I'm a W-2 employee, so it's a pretty straightforward, pretty basic return.
Easy.
And I pay around $450, something like that.
That's really good.
I used to pay $2,000 to this guy who is my agent's cousin.
Yeah.
Right.
And great guy, Javi. Hello, it's Javi Waller calling. That's exactly how he sounded. It's Javi Waller calling. I have a couple questions of your return. $2,000. Yeah, 877-44-Woody. We got the Disney Cruise question of the day coming up here in a second. Also, more chances to win them before you can buy them. Woody Show Fiesta tickets. Woody Show Fiesta with Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
Tickets go on sale Friday at 6 a.m. Win your tickets today here on the Woody Show.
Local news. It's Local versus SoCal. On the Woody Show.
And let's get a headline closer to home here in the state of California.
Let's talk about crime. The LAPD has formed a task force to counter the rise in gangs from South America that have been targeting upscale homes here in SoCal. We
South American gangs now?
Tourism yesterday.
Motherfuckers.
South American crime rings have been targeting Irvine lately, for example. So the LAPD is going to team up with other agencies and focus on organized crime groups that come into the country for the sole reason to rob houses.
Yeah, we're just talking about that.
Yep.
I know, but it's crazy to think there are people hey, where do you want to go on vacation? No, hey, where do you guys want to go criming?
I'd like to
It
go
makes
to
no
Irvine.
sense.
Yeah, is there
a crime ring that goes over the border and then goes to Irvine?
Is there a travel guide for that? I hear Irvine's great this time of year.
Right.
Well, yeah, they just fly right into John Wayne.
The LAPD pointed out that this year alone they've logged over 900 home burglaries.
Wow.
Speaking of which, NBA legend Paul Pierce, best known for his career with the Celtics but also as a Clipper, he had his LA home broken into this past Friday. Not home at the time, and unfortunately the loser thief or thieves made off with $100,000 in cash, a safe, and then a bunch of luxury watches. So investigators are still coming through all that evidence.
They got a safe.
Why are you keeping that much cash in your house?
Oh,
You should never have that much cash on hand.
good news when it comes to all
Are
the
you a drug
crime
dealer?
that we're dealing with. Rob Bonta, he's the California DA. He announced that 3 losers have been arrested in a series of smash and grab robberies that targeted high-end stores over the past 2 years. So they arrested 2 25-year-old guys, 1 26-year-old guy. He had stolen over $300,000 worth of merchandise. Prada, Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Gucci, Versace, and Menace's all-time favorite, Michael Kors.
Well, why waste your time?
And authorities won't be able to return this merchandise because it's gone. It got sold
Oh, no.
on Instagram. These 3 thieves have
On
been charged.
Instagram?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, how do you even move that stuff?
You don't even need a fence anymore. You just need to post it quick and get it gone.
Burberry coat. I got one for you. These 3 losers have been charged with over 24 counts of robbery and grand theft.
So they'll probably get probation.
Yeah, they'll get an overnight stay.
No.
Overnight stay.
Do it again.
Right. We're going to go send you to a diversion program.
Right.
So that is what's happening, Wood.
What about the forecast today, Sammy?
Sunny today, high of 74 in the valley, 73 for downtown, 69.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
60s along the coast.
Thank you, Sammy. Yeah. Ball Financial Partners is the website. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, Ball Financial Partners for my tax card. If you're interested. It's the Woody Show. It's 741. Salt 98 Sep.
Maybe this is the end. I know you kind of tease, but is this really pretend? Something tells me I'm wrong, but you I never can tell. The way you drag me along, the way I push you along. Tell me, am I insane? Is this where we belong? Is the pleasure of pain that we're still hanging on? Going out of my head. We were true love and dead, but what you said is gotta be hanging on. I can't help but walk through your red lights. Tell me you're not going without you, is that so wrong? I can't help but walk through
is this bag of dicks not in the fucking slow lane? It's Outlaw RV! Yeah, which you are is an asshole.
Some 41.
And now, back to the Woody Show.
And that was Wednesday morning. It's very important that we go and we check in with Greg Gorey. He's there with the trending news headlines.
Well, there is still no Mega Millions jackpot winner.
Fuck yeah!
So last night's jackpot was just $893 million.
Okay,
So next drawing is going to be Friday. The jackpot has now climbed to $977 million. Red, because I meant to get a ticket yesterday.
Yeah, I forgot.
I did not.
Oh my God.
I'm glad we're letting
You
it
got
ride.
5 tickets.
Right. Save yourself a couple bucks.
I did. I'm super happy because now Friday will be the day. I've never seen the legal system work this quickly. So the U.S. Supreme Court ruled yesterday that a Texas law can go into effect that would allow local police to arrest anybody that they suspect of crossing the border illegally. They ruled that SB 4 can be enforced while the litigation over its constitutionality continues in lower courts.
That is shitty shit!
Then later in the day, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that the law really is unconstitutional and it would be unsafe and put more burden on law enforcement. So that law is on hold yet again. That's how quickly this happened.
Didn't New York have some type of thing, the stop and frisk? Like that, this is what that kind of reminds me of, right?
Those old Terry
Stop and
stops?
frisk.
Yeah.
You should be just stopping everybody.
Well,
I feel like
you do. You set up a pop-up tent right as you watch people just walk right in, and you just there is no randomness. Of course, you didn't go through a proper border crossing, so you crossed illegally technically in that way, and that's probably what they would do. I don't think they're just going to be going around town.
No.
Like as I was hearing about it,
listen to the
that's
verbiage.
What I was reminded of that stop and frisk.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of
listen to the verbiage.
That they would just be going to random places, arresting random people because they believed they were here illegally.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like
read the fucking text. That's what they're planning on doing.
And if they wanted to go on a power trip or something.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, so you can't go
It is
into
vague and overbroad at best.
Right. Yep.
But you can take over someone's house.
Yeah.
You can be a squatter.
Dude, there's so much squatter news lately. Have you seen
there's a ton. There's a ton. And then and then the thing with the border, it's like, man, just going through a passport process for my kids to go on this cruise.
I know, right?
It's like, why bother? There was one time I went to the DMV, and because I told you about that issue with my name, like growing up, but JEFFREY. And then when I went to go get TSA pre-check, they're like, are you aware that your name is actually spelled JEFFERY? I go, what? What are you talking about? Because on my birth certificate and my social security card, which I never really paid close attention to, looks like Jeffrey at a glance.
Yeah.
They said, oh no, it's on here as this. And I go, so anyway, my credit cards, my driver's license, everything REY, right? So I go to the DMV to get that changed because that's the airport. Pain in the ass, especially when it doesn't match exactly what the TSA pre-check, all that stuff. So I go to the DMV and they're like, well, and they're giving me hassle. I have all this stuff.
Here's all the documentation.
And they weren't going to do it for me because I needed to bring something. Like, look, I could have walked in here with nothing at all, and you would have given me a driver's license. All I want to do is flip 2 goddamn letters.
Right.
You give me a break on this?
Nah.
Like, why is it so hard for people who are following the law?
Well, that's what the way it always is.
And so easy for people making excuses and whatever for people who are breaking the law.
Right. And then
that's my biggest confusion.
And
There's no money in that.
And then people who say the exact opposite of what we're saying are the ones who scream out, "Nobody's above the law."
But
apparently they are.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just frustrating to me that when it comes to simple right and wrong or breaking laws, not enforcing, like it's become political. Like it shouldn't be political. This is just society.
Yeah, you have to tiptoe on how you say certain things.
Right. It's society.
Right.
We're supposed to have an organized society.
It's legal, illegal.
Yeah. Laws. People who break laws go to jail, arrested, or whatever. Right. That's how you have a civil society.
Yeah. When it comes to the border, the last presidential speech, he said his idea is the process of somebody getting caught and sending them back can take up to 6 years. They want to shorten it to at least 6 weeks. That's the plan.
That would be a big deal.
Yeah.
Or how
if
about
they
this?
could pull that off.
How about this? We just have a bunch of people who are there. It's kind of like when you have a kid who's sleepwalking. You go, no, back to bed, honey. You grab them by one arm and then put your arm around their shoulder and you turn them around. And you walk them back to the room. You go, no. You go back to bed. You need your rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just don't. No. Right here. You go back this way. Back this way. There's an entrance over there.
It would be that easy, right?
Right. It's just I'm throwing an idea out there. That's all.
Well,
Just
along these
spitballing
lines,
here.
let's talk about this squatting story, the latest one out of Queens, New York. So this woman, Adele Andaloro, she inherited this $1 million house from her parents, and she was getting ready to sell the house, so she was getting that process started. She goes over to the house and noticed that the front door, not just the lock, the entire door had been replaced, and the locks had been changed. And sure enough, a couple of squatters had moved right in, and they refused to let her inside. And at one point, she just waited for the front door to be left open. And when it finally was, she went inside. She was holding the deed to the house, telling these people, "This is my house, and I'm trying to sell it." But that's when these morons claimed that they were tenants, and they're not going to go anywhere. So Adele called the cops. They sided with the squatters. They told her she's going to have to take this up in court, that it's a tenant-landlord situation. And then, to make things worse, Adele got handcuffed.
Yeah, she did.
She got Adele. This is Adele. If you're just
Adele.
The homeowner, Adele, she got charged with entering a tenant's home. And now she also has to go to court
that she owns
for that offense.
So
in
crazy.
addition to dealing with these squatters.
This is one of the examples that I'm talking about. That's, to me, that's not, and people will disagree. No, you're absolutely talking. No, it's not politics. There's just a right and there's a wrong. You don't own the house. You know you're not legally leasing it or whatever. You've taken over this person's house. Yeah.
Literally.
So
stole a house.
There's so many of these stories that I was watching another one, and they hire this guy. He's called the Squatter Hunter.
I've seen the Squatter Hunter.
See, now this is what it should be. Just a random dude
straight up into the house and just sits down with the squatters.
And there are a number of those services. He's
But it
not
sucks
alone.
that you have to hire these people.
The Squatter Hunter.
Right.
And he got
So
into the
dumb.
business because somebody in his
So
family
many,
was getting squatted on, and he
He's
went
like,
up
I'll
there.
take care of it.
It's cool. Yeah, he was, and it's funny because the story, the reason it was in the news is because some guy who used to be like mega rich ended up squatting in some spot, and then they sent in the Squatter Hunter to get him out. It was crazy.
I know.
But he got him out.
He rules. It just sucks that we need that.
Right.
I got a small update on the case of Riley Strain, the college student who went missing after hanging out at Luke Bryan's Nashville bar. This is 12 days ago. And the update is that the last text he ever sent has been revealed. So he had this new girlfriend. His frat brothers say that they had been texting back and forth while he was on his trip to Tennessee. And the last text he sent to the girlfriend was, and this is a direct quote, "Good lops," L-O-P-S, good lops. So maybe he meant good night. Or maybe it had some
that means something
other
tricks,
meaning.
A lop is, from my day.
Yeah, if you're a lop, you fucked up.
That person.
Yeah.
But, I believe that guy just went into the river. To be honest, I mean, they found his phone right by the river. Woman in the river.
Well, because of this text now, investigators say that every piece of the puzzle that they're recovering just leads to about 100 more questions, and that they're no closer to finding Riley.
I mean, I love conspiracy.
Convinced that he's alive, and they hired
I hope he is.
The Cajun Navy involved.
I do love conspiracy theories, but usually when, the stuff that makes the most sense is usually the truth.
And just an average person of no, profile. You know what I mean? Just a regular average dude.
Right.
What's the conspiracy theory there,
Right.
Yeah. Don't know. But how frustrating for the family. Lastly, Dan Schneider, he's the former Nickelodeon executive. He's that dorky looking guy.
Yeah, he was from Head of the Class.
Right. Gave a formal response to this new Nickelodeon documentary that paints him as a monster and
paints him as an absolute fucking
actors.
foot fetish.
He said it was hard to watch that documentary, and that he definitely owes some people a strong apology, and he's embarrassed that he didn't apologize back then. Also agrees that some jokes were questionable, considering that they were meant for kids, but he pointed out that everything they did was carefully scrutinized by a lot of people, and he also said he was devastated when he learned that dialogue coach, Brian Peck, had been accused of molesting actor Drake Bell.
Yeah, so it seems like the dialogue coach was the one that was doing all the actual stuff.
Yeah.
This guy says he apologizes for being an a-hole and doing sexual jokes around
underage kids.
Yeah.
Is he a really well-known guy? Because I feel like all the shows that he was responsible for were after my time. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, they're all
I was
aimed at
all the shows
like
that he was responsible
kids
for.
who are a couple of years, like 5, 10 years.
In that era, he was big time.
Yeah, I'm saying, but even like people who are watching those shows, do they know who he is? Like people know Chuck Lorre for 2.5 Men or Big Bang Theory.
No.
Isn't this the guy though? He did the Amanda Show, right?
Don't know.
I don't know his resume.
I think that
he did
guy,
a ton
the Amanda
of Nick
Show,
shows.
basically, because he was the executive producer of it and wrote himself into one.
Oh, he's trained.
So it's stuff like that where like. You are the person who came up with this, and like he said, it did have to get approved by a bunch of people before it happened.
Sure.
But it's still a weird thing, and you're the person coming up with the scenario.
Yeah.
So that there was weird stuff that went on.
Yeah, it all seems very strange. I know a lot of people were talking about it. Obviously, it's big news.
Yeah.
For a certain group of the population who watched all these shows and know who all these people are that are involved, the actors that are involved, actresses that are all involved in this show, they're all speaking out and saying different things.
Well, the dialect coach, too, who had the incidents with Drake Bell, after went to court, all this stuff, gets convicted, goes to jail, comes back out, and gets hired on a set again as soon as he gets out.
Oh, really?
Yes. Like, what's going on? That's the stuff that gets you.
Where's the common sense, everybody?
Right.
What the hell? All the stuff.
All about
Is there no background checks?
Right.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
No, in Hollywood, no, they're dumb.
Right?
Yeah, jeez.
They hire people with extremely questionable backgrounds for everything.
I'd like to see a common sense. If we are going to make everything politics, how about a common sense candidate?
Oh gosh, that's
Can we have
way too much.
Yeah, that's a pipe dream.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I would vote for the person. I don't care how horrible of a person they would
come
be
on,
otherwise. I would just love to see this
that
happen,
one guy.
How much waste there is in the government and how much money. We're talking about taxes and how much.
Who wasn't even near the light.
They still don't have enough money.
Or for the truck that ran the red.
Tremendous debt and spending money on stuff.
No,
because they don't though. That's why there's so much debt.
Way too much money.
But I'm saying, if they would just have a guy who would come out and say, look, I know it's going to take all 4 years, maybe more. We're going to go through every bit of spending, line for line, like you would do at your home budget, line by line. We're going to go, what is this? All right, that's a definite. What is this? That's a maybe. This is old. We don't need typewriter repair people anymore. That's over here. And so much stuff just gets clogged up in a budget because it's there year after year, and so it carries over. You might not even do anything with it. That's how you use money. We have to. It's so dumb around here. At the end of the year, we go, hey, you have X number of unspent dollars that you need to spend between now and December 31st, and we're under pressure to spend it, which we do. I'm like, can't I just carry it over till next year and use it? When we have more of a purpose or a reason. Nope.
No, gotta spend it.
Nope, gotta spend it. Gotta spend it right now.
I'm like, all right.
It's so dumb, and that's how a lot of that stuff ends up happening. And can you imagine how much money we could shave off the books that way? All the stuff that's in the middle, or the notes just go away. All that stuff that's in the middle, you can debate and then re-clear it. It would take forever.
It would take years.
Yes, but I'm willing to do that. Think about like how you can lower the tax burden on everybody. How much money
Is this guy empty? Is that what it is?
Every household has to do that. That's who I'm voting for. They can be a pig otherwise.
Okay, fuck this, dude.
But line for line, let's just get through that whole process, and then we can get somebody more.
Fucking go.
Probably take
Right.
18 lifetimes.
Yeah. That's right.
Dude, you're not even trying to push that thing. That was barely over idle.
What he shows next, hang on.
Hey, if you feel like you could be a slut, well, try it out.
What the fuck is going on up here?
We'll be right back.
All 98.7 LA's new alternative.
Join us for the first bobblehead giveaway of the season. Be here Saturday, March 30th at 6:10 p.m. versus the Cardinals. The first 40,000 fans in attendance receive a Freddie.
Oh, you fucking asshole, semi.
For tickets and information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Starting March 18th for 3 days only, shop limited time doorbusters during Lowe's MVP's bonus days. Buy one Metabo HPT 15-degree roofing nailer. Get one box of Metabo HPT 1 1/4-inch collated roofing nails free, a $49.98 value. Plus, save $39 on a Little Giant A4 6-foot 300-pound step ladder. Shop these deals and more while supplies last. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 3/18 to 3/20. Selection varies by location.
If you're looking to get a new car, you can really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided in certain states and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
It's the Marketers Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Hey, Los Angeles, are you looking